Okay, let's talk about time for a second. What if I told you it isn't just a clock on the wall, just ticking away? What if it's more like a living, breathing force? Today, we're diving into this amazing ancient concept called Muhurt. It's really the science of aligning our own actions with the rhythm of the cosmos itself.
I want you to really think about this question. Is every single moment created equal? We tend to view time as this flat, predictable line that just keeps going. But what if that's not the whole story? What if some moments are just more fertile, more supportive, and way more powerful than others?
This line right here, from the ancient Vedic texts, is basically the heart of our entire conversation today. It suggests that time isn't just a quantity. It has a quality, a kind of consciousness or a soul. And within its constant flow, there are these specific, potent moments just brimming with creative power. So let's unpack what that really means.
All right, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll dig into that idea of the soul of time. Then we'll look at this wild concept that events, just like people, have a birth. From there, we'll see why timing is so crucial, check out the actual science behind picking the right moment, and finally, tie it all back to our own hard work and free will. So let's start with this beautiful idea that time isn't just something we measure. The Vedic view is that every single second carries a totally unique vibration, its own specific planetary energy. And that makes each moment qualitatively different from the one that came before and the one that comes after. So what is Muhurt? Well, at its core, this is it. It's the science of spotting and choosing a moment when all those cosmic energies, the planetary alignments, are in perfect harmony and are super supportive of whatever you're trying to do. It's kind of like learning to spot and catch the perfect wave instead of just paddling against the current.
Okay, now here is where this whole thing gets really, really cool. Muhurt introduces this incredibly powerful idea that every single action we start, well, it has a birth, just like a person does. Just let that sink in for a minute. The second you click publish on a website, or sign that business contract, or lay the first brick of a new house, that precise moment in time becomes the birth chart for that entire venture. Its whole life story, its potential, its struggles. It's all encoded right there in that starting moment. And you can even break it down further. The rising sign, at that moment of inception, that gives the event its physical form, its body. The position of the moon, that shapes its mind, its public reception, its emotional vibe. And all the other planets, they basically map out its destiny. So what we're really doing is choosing the best possible DNA, the best possible birth chart for our actions. So if every event has a birth chart, what does that actually mean for us in the real world? How does this play out? Well, turns out the difference between a good start and a bad start can be absolutely massive. Now, starting at the right time doesn't mean everything will be perfect, but you'll notice obstacles just kind of melt away. Help shows up out of nowhere. The whole project just feels stable. But contrast that with starting at the wrong time. Suddenly, you're hit with constant delays, conflicts, unexpected problems. It feels like you're swimming upstream, fighting for every inch, even when you're putting in 110% effort. To make this concept really click, the ancient texts use this perfect analogy that I think everyone can get right away. Okay, look at it this way. Your effort, your hard work, your karma, that's the seed. It has to be a good quality seed, right? Your circumstances, your resources, your environment, that's the soil. But the Muhurt, that is the weather. See, you can have the absolute best seed and the most fertile soil on the planet. But if you plant it in the middle of a blizzard or a drought, it's not going to grow. Muhurt is all about choosing a day with perfect weather to plant your seed. So how exactly is this cosmic weather forecasted? I mean, this isn't just about a gut feeling or guesswork. Not at all. It's a really detailed, systematic science. The whole goal is really twofold. First, you have to play defense. You identify and get rid of any moments with major negative influences, the cosmic storms. Then you play offense. You find a time that actively juices up all the positive influences, giving your project the best possible cosmic tailwind to get it started. And here are the key checks an expert looks for. They analyze the quality of the specific day, the broader time period like the month or season, the strength of the big players, the sun, the moon, and Jupiter, and critically, the power of the rising sign at that exact moment. And then the final piece of the puzzle is making sure that moment actually works with the individual's own birth chart. It is a seriously multi-layered analysis.
So you might be wondering, what even is a muhurt in terms of time? Well, it's a 48-minute window. The day and the night are each divided into 15 of these 48-minute periods. The whole goal is to find the absolute best one, and then inside that window, pinpoint the most powerful and precise moment to kick things off.
All right, let's bring this all home. It's really easy to hear all of this and think it's just about fate or destiny, but that would be a total misunderstanding. This is actually where your free will and your effort come roaring into the picture.
This is probably the most important thing to remember. Choosing a good muhurt is not some magic trick that guarantees you'll succeed without doing any of the work. You still have to bring your best effort. You have to plant the best seed you possibly can. Muhurt just makes sure you're planting it in the best cosmic weather, giving your hard work the absolute greatest chance to succeed. So, when you boil it all down, muhurt is really an act of intelligence. It's about consciously using time as a type of energy. It's the art of getting your own personal actions in sync with the universal rhythm. It provides this sort of protective shield for your most important beginnings. And maybe most importantly, it's an incredible use of your own free will to choose not just what you do, but when you do it. So I'll just leave you with this one last thought. We always talk about being in the right place at the right time, as if it's some lucky accident. But this ancient science suggests something different. It suggests that for the things that truly matter, the right time doesn't have to be an accident at all. It can be a conscious, intelligent, and incredibly powerful choice.